Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome to the Gamertron Show. I have yet another question to ask you guys. What can I say? I'm curious. I want to know what style of game you guys prefer. Do you prefer a linear game that holds your hand? Or do you prefer an open world game that gives you freedom? Freedom to make your own choices, your own mistakes, your own epic moments. I'm curious. I want to know what you guys prefer. Because I've noticed, as the years have gone by, I've noticed that the latter, the open world, freedom of choice games have just gotten more popular and more popular. Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Far Cry 3, the Assassin's Creed games, and the recently released Watch Dogs. And what I've noticed that all these games have in common, they open world, they take place in an open world environment, whether it be an island, a city, or a large plot of land. And these games aren't strict with you. They aren't strict. They drop you in the world, perhaps give you a tutorial on how to play the game, and then let you run free. Do whatever you want. You can continue a story quest, do side quests, side activities, fun little mini games, or just screw around with the environment, NPCs, or whatever at your disposal. These games seem to be more and more, and not dying down in popularity. As a matter of fact, they're just getting more and more popular, and more of these games are being, unfortunately, hyped up. For example, the upcoming year of 2015, people are excited for The Division, which is an open-world multiplayer game. Far Cry 4, sequel to Far Cry 3, another open-world game. The Witcher 3, an open-world RPG fantasy action game. Batman Arkham Knight, sequel to the Batman Arkham games, Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City. Gonna be another open-world game. I mean, look at all these open-world games. Look how excited everyone is for them. Look how anticipated and unfortunately hyped up they are. I have no problem with open-world games. I embrace them. I greatly enjoy them. However, linear, storytelling, straightforward, set-piece focusing games seem to be getting less and less. Gone are the action-heavy corridor shooters. Gone are the straightforward path where you continue in a single direction and maybe have a few hidden areas that you can go to. Gone are the games that have a predetermined, single-choice, one-destination stories. And there's nothing wrong with those games if they're well done. Well, at least in the AAA department, AAA games are more and more becoming open-world focused. Games that are more linear, straightforward, one direction, are becoming fewer and fewer in the AAA department. Now don't get me wrong, linear games, these straightforward games that I talk about, have been somewhat spoiled and tainted by Call of Duty and Battlefield, because so many developers ignorantly and arrogantly follow their lead in how they design their games. While some really good games do come out of them following by their examples, there are far too many copy-based, bland, uninteresting, and uninspired single-player campaigns, stories, or just games. Meanwhile, open-world game after open-world game has been getting constant praise and affection. And while both styles of game and game type are perfectly fine, and I would love to see a balanced amount of each style, with the rise of open-world games arises a problem that these other single-player linear games are not having, and that's replayability. Usually, in single-player, linear-focused games, they have a level system, a chapter system, a checkpoint system, where the game is split up into individual levels or chapters, or at least has a feature to save your game and load an earlier save so that you can replay a level. And I am a guy who loves replayability. I love games, I adore games that give me the option to either save my game and reload to a part I like, or have a level and chapter system where I can go replay individual levels and replay individual chapters of a game as much as I want. Open world game after open world game does not have this level of replayability. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get the ability to have a new game plus and get all your statistics and gear back from your previous game into a new game, but that's hardly the case sometimes. So many open world games are adopting the feature of auto-saving. While it may give you multiple game files, they usually don't allow you to make your own personal saves, like placing a bookmark on a specific part of the game that you really like and you want to come back to and replay without having to play the entire game all over again just to get to that single part. However, unfortunately, so many games are nowadays just using autosaves. While autosaves are useful for not losing your progress, they usually completely overwrite your game save file, so you can't, create your own personal bookmark, your own personal checkpoint to replay. Open world games don't usually allow you to replay story missions, don't allow you to create a save game file at a specific point in time because of goddamn autosaves. And basically forces you to replay the game all over again if you just want to play one specific part that you really like. It's living hell for me as a YouTuber. Sure, these are great games and I love playing them, but it's a real pain in the ass that I have to replay an entire game, sometimes just for you guys, to get to a specific point in a game because I want to get a specific cutscene or have a specific action scene in a certain mission. It's a pain in the ass compared to these linear games that allow you to replay their levels and chapters and specific points. But then again, that's just me. That's just my personal taste. I like replaying stuff in a game. I like replaying my favorite missions, action scenes, boss battles. So I find it really irritating when I come across a game that forces me to replay the whole thing over again, or be prepared to save in a specific spot if I want to replay something in a game. Don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand me. I know there are people out there, usually people who play these open world games, who play them once. They want to play everything the game has to offer, not replay anything, and then move on to another game or move on to multiplayer or something like that. They want to finish the story, the side quests, side missions, play the bonus activities a bit, screw around in the open world, and then they say the game's over. People like finality. They like feeling like they accomplished something, like they finished the game, they saw all there was to see, and they got their money's worth. But I like getting a little more than my money's worth. I'm like taking that $60, $30, whatever I paid for the game, and stretching it as far as possible. I love replayability. And so many of these games, all the games I own, I have sections, bosses, things in them that I really like and I want to play again. And it's a shame that a good amount of them don't allow me to replay them, or I have to play a whole bunch of other stuff that's perfectly fine, but I really just want to play this bit. There's pros and cons to both styles. With a linear, more focused corridor, straight direction, level design, it can provide well-done scripted story moments, well-prepared set pieces, and a good pacing to the overall game. While open world and freedom of choice allows you to have fun. It allows you to have fun, go wild, go at the game at your own pace. You can rush through the story, you can take your time and explore the world. Both styles are great. I just wish that there was a greater balance between the two, because it's very obvious that open world games are starting to become more abundant and more cherished. But hey, that's just my opinion, and I'm asking you guys what you prefer and what you think's going to happen with these two game styles. So, be sure to leave me a comment of what you think of the video and my thoughts, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to support me and see more of my content. So, I'll see you guys later.